Hi there. In the short time since COVID-19 hit, people are feeling afraid for their health, their bank accounts, and of the changes we're all facing. Our last video had a bunch of "aw hecks the world's overcome." This one gives a very different reason to be optimistic from a story I'll bet you don't know. It starts back in time. I can't believe how far back in time it starts. Cavemen and women figured out that wearing animal skins and furs helped keep them warm.
We're starting with Neanderthals?
Yes, we are. The Stone Age began when cave people found out that weed burned. That's a different story.
I'd love to hear it.
Maybe later. They learned that wood burned. Eventually, and no one knows when, coal was discovered. There's a lot of it all around the world. And for thousands of years, it warmed people and heated forges. When trees are scarce, like England in the 1600s, and the surface coal is gone, miners go underground.
And there's always a but.
Groundwater floods the tunnels. That's a huge problem. Water wheels attached to pumps helped. Then steam engines showed up. The first was in 1712, invented by an Englishman, Thomas Newcomen. Never heard of him. Steam could also power engines.
I know, the Industrial Revolution.
Correct. So demand for coal exploded. This caused another problem: how to get the coal from where it was to where it was needed. Eventually, they built wooden railroads from the mines. They were made of wood?
Pay attention. Yes, wood.
One of the first was 5 miles long. The 1720 Tanfield Railroad went through hills and over England's largest stone-arched bridge. It's still standing. Horses pulling wagons went by every minute at rush hour. Each carried 2.5 tons of coal.
That's a lot of coal.
Around 1770, a Scottish inventor came up with a much better engine. Wow! The old design worked for almost 50 years. James Watt invented the modern steam engine. It took 35 years, however, to become a locomotive. In 1804, another British inventor, Richard Trevithick, had his pull 5 cars 10 miles. 70 men went along for that first ride. They went just over 2 miles an hour. By the way, in 1807, an American, Robert Fulton, put the first one on a ship.
He's buried at the foot of New York City's Wall Street.
I walked past him in the Trinity graveyard thousands of times. Another, by the way, 20 years later, America's first railroad showed up. It was called the Tom Thumb. Railroads grew like weeds. Fast forward to the mid-1960s. America's railroads are getting torn up. There once was a magnificent New York Penn Station. A lot of this story is personal to me. I spent my summers growing up on the side of Pennsylvania's Big Lick Mountain. My grandmother's house was located about a quarter of a mile away from the mouth of the coal mine my grandfather worked in before it closed.
His name was Peter.
Judgy Pete, to me. A train took its coal to market. Though the tracks got pulled up 75 years ago, I could still follow where they went, see the old bridges, pick up chunks of coal from the railbed. Grandma burned it in her stove.
She made the greatest apple pie in the world.
Yes, she did. Railroads cut travel time across America from months to days. Then telegraph and telephone arrive, making transcontinental communications instantaneous. What about transglobal?
The world certainly has changed, hasn't it?
Is my point that change is always around us? Yes, but no. Haha, absolutely not in this video. It's that we forget how far we've come. We forget how great the tools are that we have to fight this disease, how amazing those tools are. We take them for granted and it makes us afraid. We forget that when we're quarantined, we've radio, phone, cells, TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Zoom, and all the other services available wherever we are, at home, on our boat, in a car, on a train, even in space.
Can the astronauts up on the International Space Station, can they come back now?
While COVID-19 is scary, it's being fought in old and very new ways. And you know I'm right. I'm right.
I'm right.
I'm optimistic. We think you should be so too. Alas, by the way, people still wear animal skins and furs. They've just got logos on them now. The clothes.
And the people too.
I am Mike for the Be More Better team. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Please like, follow, comment, all the rest. Subscribe if you haven't. But always, always be more better. Body, mind, and spirit. And then be even more better when you see the light at the end of the tunnel and show it to others. Tell us what sort of things are helping you through the darkness. Until the next time, bye now. Thank you.